Another edition of the On the Mic podcast continues on with even more Bellator 291 coverage. I may have interviewed half the card by this point. I'm not sure, but no one I'm more excited to talk to than this man. I was super stoked the last time we talked, and here we are again. Ahead of Bellator 291, one of the very best young fighters in the game, one of the very best young Irish fighters in the game. Ciaran Clarke, welcome back. How are you, sir?
Oh, it's good. Thanks a million, man. Appreciate me having me on again.
Absolutely. You can come on whenever you've got a fight. I'd love to talk to you. But, last time you fought was back in September, and now you're back. You're back in Ireland. What is it like for you leading into this camp? What is it like, going back to a place where you're so comfortable? The record is still as clean as it can be. How are you feeling coming into this fight?
Yeah, feeling great, man, to be 100% honest. Look, as always, everybody's going to say that, but genuinely, I think it's actually, the best spirit, the best, I think the best version of me is coming into this. And obviously, everybody says that, but even like a week out, a lot of the time, I'm like coming up to the fight and I quite look physically drained and wears me and I think even just everything gets on top of you. But with this time, like I really feel I got my recovery down, whether me sleep, me nutrition, everything really. I just really dialed in now this time and feeling really good. And I think it'll really show this time. And as I said, physically, I feel great and I've no niggles going in, no injuries like the last time, and feel really in tip top shape, So obviously the confidence is high for this one,
As it should be. We're about 6 days away, in relation to the States and all that, from the fight. Where are you at on your schedule? So what happens for the rest of this week for you?
Yeah, so this week is really just it's basically as far as the training wise, it's all of the hard rounds, of course, are done, and now it's just really just going through the motions, just working up a sweat and cutting the last bit of weight. But it's never an issue for me. I'm always close enough to the weight, and it's never a bother. So it's actually quite stress free for me this week, and it's always exciting, really, So. It's just really get to the hotel, check in, do all the media obligations, and just make weight and to be honest, the closer I get to the fight, the more exciting, the more the better I feel. And like literally up until I'm walking in, it's like it's really is. It's like it's nearly like Christmas. It's like it's just that feeling of all these weeks leading up, all the training, all the all the thoughts that come with it, good and bad, and it's action time. You can actually do it now. I mean, this is when it matters, and everything else is just all smoke leading up to it. And I just really can't wait now.
Yeah, absolutely. You're getting me excited, and I wish the fight was right now. I wish the fight was tomorrow. I wish I was watching you and listening to that crowd. You're gonna be on the main card filled with Irish fighters. We've talked about this in the past, but I'm gonna ask you every time you're on the show, man. Can you try to describe that atmosphere, especially and what it means to you to be on the main card with so many of your fellow fighters there? What is that crowd? What is that energy like, especially when the main card hits? You're a part of it, and everybody's going crazy.
Yeah, look, I'll start with just being on the main card. I mean, this will be my third time on the main card, and I'm buzzing to be on it. And it just goes to show, and you like yourself, know fine well. Like you look at the bottom of the card to the top, who's who of names and accomplished fighters and Bellator vets even, and I'm ahead of them and even ranked fighters and I'm on the main card ahead of these lads, and it just goes to show what Bellator does think of me. And again, of course. It's brilliant to be a part of it, and I think the reason being is because of the sport they're bringing. Obviously, being an undefeated fighter, it's the support I get from that crowd, and to touch on that, like to try and describe it, it is obviously very very hard, but it's genuinely it's probably the most. It's the I suppose humanly possible. It's probably the most external thing you can probably get as far apart from for me personally, that I have faith is getting the either strength or anything, wisdom, anything else from God. But as far as that, I don't think there's anything other than humanly possible to gain externally from others and to feel that energy. And I know this just sounds all crazy, but it's so hard to explain. But as far as like getting that, if you bring in others' energy in there, and I'd be very in tune with other people. Like that's what I like to surround myself with people that's confident in me and has my best interest at heart, because I really think that rubs off. And so I think the crowd is very, very hard to explain. Yeah.
Every fighter I've asked has said the same thing, that you just can't put it into words. That's why I think I've said it to you before. It's on my bucket list, man. I really want to make it out there, cover an event, be around the crowd, be around the fighters. I obviously won't be there this weekend, but it's truly special. And I think one thing, if you want to talk about how special an event like this is, you're a professional fighter. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. It is crazy that they have 18 fights scheduled for this card. 18 fights. And so many people, so many fighters out of Ireland are representing the country, representing Bellator on this night. When you see 18, I mean, the wait's a little longer to get to the main card, but isn't this in a way a beautiful showcase of Irish MMA, of fighters out of your gym, out of Irish fighters in general?
Yeah, big time. Like you said, I think really Bellator took advantage of the Irish, and it's obviously the home, I believe, of European MMA at the minute, and Irish MMA is booming, and there's a show most weekends these days, and it's going from strength to strength, and seeing how we're doing at the IMAFs, the amateurs and stuff. But as far as as I said with Bellator, they're clever. They see the market that's in. Go to a Bellator show in London, Birmingham, anywhere else, like it wipes the floor away. Like it's nothing that you'll ever experience, and as they say, we're the best crowd in the world. And I really do believe, I think, you can fill any stadium in Ireland, and you just put the fights on and they'll go. It's the Irish crowd is just in us to we just love combat, and so such a small nation, we're doing well at it. And again, as I said, just goes to show what Bellator does think of us, and to have two welterweight champs going head to head, and then all the 18 fights. Like, I mean, that's unbelievable. Like,
And you can correct me if I'm wrong. I talked to somebody I believe you know him very well, Andy Stevenson. We did a preview show for this, and I asked him kind of what it might mean to the Irish crowd in the main event, that Yaroslav Amosov and Logan Storley, but mainly Amosov. If you know anything happening in the world, you know what's going on in Ukraine, and obviously war times is nothing new to everyone in Ireland. Do you think the crowd will carry a special energy for that main event, no matter what happens throughout the night? Because yes, this is a fight. Yes, we all love to see it, and nobody loves a combat sports event more than the Irish. But knowing what he's coming back from, having to barricade his belt, and hide his belt during war times, do you think the crowd will kind of feed him a special energy in that main event?
Yeah, well, look, I really hope so, because I'm not sure people really know of the extent of what that man actually went through, and of course that country, and obviously come back and him doing his service, and I really do hope they do, and hope people understand that, and even Bellator push that enough, because, like, as I said, what they've had to go through, and what that man has come back to do, like in his status, and just goes to show his character. And I'll give you a good one, actually. Amosov is overtraining with us for a week or so there, this past week even, and getting rounds with Gunnar Nelson and the likes, and some of the team, and he came into the dressing room. I didn't know he was coming over, and he just walked straight up to me and just put his hand out and shook my hand, and I was like, no way, that's your man, the champ, like, you know what I mean? And I couldn't believe it, and, like, him and his team are so how would I say, they were happy to be there, and they loved the atmosphere. I even kind of was earwigging a little bit with him and John were having a conversation. He was saying, like, normally when I go into a gym, I put my foot in the door, and, like, it's like someone has a sniper on me, like that. They're trying to take him out. That they know he's the welterweight champion of the world, And he said in here, like, no one was trying to break me. You know, they were very understanding that I had a fight in 2 weeks and I got great training, and yeah, it just shows his character. I mean, outside of what he's doing there with for his country and his fellow countrymen, and then yeah, as a person outside of it, I mean, for him to come up then the court, I just think little things of that first impressions for me, I was just like, do you know what? Again, as I said, he's the welterweight champion of the world. Probably doesn't even know who I am, but he was coming up straight away, shook my hand, and I was like, that, that'll stick with me, you know.
Yeah, no, and I think it's special, and it takes nothing away from Logan Storley, but I definitely hope, like you said, everyone gives a special energy to this main event because it's going to be beautiful. It's been beautifully perfect in your career thus far. Fought twice last year. Are you at that point now, coming into this fight at Bellator 291, that you want to get more busy in 2023, or what's kind of your plan for this year?
Yeah, look, as I said, I'm definitely going to call it for after this one, and then please God get the win, and but definitely for me, I would love something maybe over in the States. That's the goal for me, to get over to the States and fight, and I don't want to be just the token Irish guy that fights twice a year in Ireland. Obviously it's brilliant, but this will be my sixth one in Ireland, and like you said, the crowd is like no other. But I think just get into it just to fight in Ireland. I want to make it. I want to get over there to where it's all at and where the sport started, and where realistically the big fights are, and then I want to fight for Bellator over there and maybe somewhere else in Europe. But the plan would definitely be in maybe the summer or something. Maybe the cards that are released now are maybe a bit soon. I'm not sure. Maybe end of May or something. I'm not sure that I don't know how finalized them cards are, but something like that. Definitely in the summer, I'd love one, and then obviously they come back to Dublin each year twice, so maybe Dublin the weekend, over with yous in the summer or somewhere else abroad, and then back to Dublin again for the end of the year. That'd be in a perfect year for me, and obviously, to win all the fights. But I can't ask for too much,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I can tell you this, as someone in the States here, not only do I love when Bellator goes to Dublin, but I think I love even more when fighters from Ireland come to the States, because they bring half the country with them, and you guys just take up the arena. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's one of the main things that really kind of kept me in the sport and keeps me going in the sport, because I agree with what you said earlier. There's no better crowd than the Irish crowd, especially in combat sports. I don't care if it's MMA, boxing. I really don't care what sport it is. It's truly special when there's an Irish fighter on the card. I don't care what anyone says. You had an opponent change coming into this one. What do you make of Leonardos Sinis, your new opponent, and what do you expect to showcase in this fight against him?
Yeah, I'm glad that there was got the opponent change. It happened on basically a week today, Monday, gone, and I was just glad that Bellator was able to slot someone in. And what I think of him, he's had nearly 20 professional fights now, good experience. Has fought heavier weights, and he's fought his last one or two of featherweight, so he's going to come in big and strong. But I think his style is very anti everything. I think he's a counter fighter on the feet. He looks to draw you out to throw and kind of pressures forward, and then on the ground, I don't think he really initiates any takedowns or any. I don't think he's looking to get it there or anything. I think from what I've seen anyway, he's more of a counter fighter, as in he gets to the ground, he looks to come up in a single leg or looks to sweep you, try attack and get on top. Whereas obviously my style is to initiate the takedown, initiate the strikes, and to get in your face and looking forward to it. Again, conventionally, I think it doesn't match up well for him, and it suits me. But look, as I said, it didn't really matter who it was in that sense. I was confident anyway through the preparation I put in for the last 8 weeks, and feeling in tip-top shape, and made a Batman win the night then.
Well, you like to give fans a heart attack during your fights. I know you you take us all on a ride, whether it's the media or expecting this and then something else happens. Well, are you taking a different approach in this fight, or are you just going to keep being the Ciaran Clarke we all know and love?
Yeah, look, I definitely don't plan on doing that. It's just the way the fights turn out and fighting these guys, and then tough lads, and maybe have to get a smacker to wake up. But no, look, the way I look at these fights is I could really go out there and you know, first round I could really make it so clean and or it could be, you know, back and forth exchanges. And again, I still see myself coming out on top of them maybe later towards the second round or third round. But yeah, look, as I said, confidence is high, and I definitely, you know, even though I'm getting the wins in these fights and they're exciting, but I definitely want that clean. I think I'm due a clean performance, you know, like that kind of, you know, really put a full stop on the another victory and make it 7-0, you know.
So what message then would that send to everybody, not just the division, but to yourself, to, you know, everyone around you, your team? If you go in and get that clean win that you're looking for in this fight, what message does that send to what 2023 could be for you?
Yeah, well, really, I think it'll just start off the year very well, obviously, and then it'll, you know, roll into hopefully getting something, as I said, over with you in the States, or another big fight, or something to really establish me then, you know. But as far as to be honest, for myself, it's really just to show the improvements we've been making the last, you know, 3 years since I've turned professional, and you know, again, as I said, I've said this before, I'd have, like, of course, since the last one I've gotten better and improved, but like, I really feel like I want that performance to really show what I've been cooking up the last 3 years since going professional. And I still don't feel I've been able to show that just yet. Again, still getting comfortable in there, and you know, even after 30 fights, you know, but you know, between amateur and pro, but I really just want that, you know, clinical performance, and that, you know, that fight where I can walk out and you know, really feel I've been able to show. And look, at the end of the day, maybe that's pursuing perfection, but and we'll never reach that. But that's what drives me to get in the gym every day and to get better, and that's what keeps me yeah, you know, doing these tough sessions, and it's kind of like that inner dialogue of you know, the doubt there and everything else. Like that's what drives you. You know, I think if you drank your own Kool-Aid, as they say, you know, you wouldn't be you wouldn't be as motivated to get better at. But for me, I'm not that guy. I'm constantly trying to prove to myself and to show in the performances how good I am, you know.
Well, it's always a great time talking to you, and I really appreciate it. I cannot wait for this fight. Where would you say you and your team are? Well, you know, how have things grown from, you know, being in the gym, getting the win in your last fight, continuing to get wins in your pro career, but coming into this fight, big plans for 2023. Where do you feel things are at with you and your team?
Look, as I said, I don't really looking too far ahead, and I'm just focused on this next one. But as far as this year, look, for me, it'd be to get the 3 wins, and obviously as far as the team wise, and with my coach John and Dave Roach, you know, I think we've a big night coming up for Bellator, and you know, I think 13 fighters in the gym, like, which is massive, you know. So as far as that, like, I mean, to get a clean sweep there, we nearly done it. We nearly done it last September. I'm nearly sure. I think we went 7-1 that night. It could have been, you know, 8 wins at nearly, you know, coming up close. But I just really feel the improvements is we're just gone strength to strength as a team. And yeah, it's great that Bellator can come each year and to have these big fights and for us to show on the platform, you know.
Yeah, and yeah, almost had the clean sweep in the last one in September. I'm so excited for this one. I've been asking every fighter out of Ireland, so please don't take offense to this. I think I've mentioned this before to you. I am part Irish. You guys are fighting just a couple weeks away from my birthday, the biggest holiday in Ireland, St. Patrick's Day. What is the proper way for me to celebrate my birthday?
Oh, to be honest, you just can't really go wrong with an L pint of Guinness. So get the best pint of Guinness over there, and maybe a bit of traditional music, and you know, I think that's the way to go. And actually, on that note, I'm actually part American, believe it or not.
I love it. Look at that. Look at that. This is the best. We could do an Irish American podcast here. I love it.
Yeah.
But I'll say, Chicago's got some strong Irish heritage. But if all goes well, here's what I'll say. I might reach out to you like 2 days before my birthday to see if you can hit me with some songs, and I'll just play. You give me some songs and I'll play them all day, and I'll make a story out of it, and I'll have a good time with your recommendations. But Ciaran Clarke, in all seriousness, I'm super excited for you. You know, I don't like to get too personal with all the fighters, but you're one of my very favorite fighters to watch in this sport. I think the future is as bright as you want it to be. I cannot wait. I don't know exactly what time it starts here in the States, but I know I'm going to be up early, and I'm not working the event, so I'm going to have a few pints of Guinness in me by the time you fight. It's going to be a hell of a night. I cannot wait. Wish you all the best. I can't wait to see what Team SBG Ireland does. I can't wait to see what you do in there. Thank you for the time today.
I appreciate it. Thanks a million, and I'll hold you up on the songs and the recommendations for your birthday. So yeah, we'll chat then.
All right, perfect, man. Thank you.
Thanks, man.